starting to make the transition and come over here. I'm just gonna breathe in. Do you hear echo?
No.
No? Okay, it's just my phone then. Goodness. Okay, I think it's gone. All right. So in the Confidence Corner, we are in this series called Millennials Making Moves. And today I have the privilege of speaking with the one and only Brittnee N. Smith of Brittany Creative Services. I got
Close.
Brittany
Smith Creative Company.
Smith Creative Company. There it is. I knew it. But Brittany is a millennial. She is new. She is doing the damn thing, and I'm just excited that she took time out of her schedule to come and talk with.
Of course.
And so, if you don't know, she is a boss. She is a brain strategist. If you need a brain, she can be your brain. She's a wife, a mom, ministry leader, and she's doing the daggone thing. And so I just had to have her on to help me, help us people. That's a little bit. That's how I say, bring crackers because I got the tea. And so, Brittany, we have the tea. The people want to know. How do you do all of this? But before we get into this, you could just introduce yourself and tell them what it is that you do.
Ooh, how much time do we have? I think the people are saying that there's an echo still on their end, by the way. So, Ms. Wilma, just pray the echo away in Jesus' name. But in the meantime, I'm Brittnee N. Smith. I'm the CEO and founder of Brittney Smith Creative Company, where we provide authentic branding and excellent design for entrepreneurs and CEOs. And really, I think we're transitioning to say female entrepreneurs and CEOs. So yeah, that's what I do. So anything from graphic design, web design, anything for print, anything design-wise, I do. Content creation we're doing now. So if you need people to do your social media posts or do your blogging or anything like that, we offer that now. And also brand strategy. That's the one I was trying to remember. Brand strategy. So like Cherise said, if you need ideas for your business, ideas for your brand, I'm your girl for that. So that's what we do through my business. On the other side of that is the Brittnee N. Smith brand, where I'm a speaker, author, entertainer, motivator, all those R's I do on my personal brand side. So,
I love it. She's an elder.
Oh yeah, at the Restoration Station Christian Fellowship. I'm an elder there. I'm a wife. I'll be married 5 years in September. Dang. And I have a spicy 3-year-old named Sophia. I said she's 3. She'll be 4 in December. So I have my hands pretty full.
But when you do it, you do everything, and that's like a whole lot. And I know there's way more because I know you a little bit more than the average viewer. But you do it and you make it look so easy. So the question is, I mean, what has your confidence journey been like for you to be an entrepreneur, be a wife, be so many things, so many different. You make it look easy.
Well, praise God for that, because it ain't. It's not always. I find that when you fill your life with things that you enjoy, it doesn't feel as hard, even though it is a lot. So in terms of confidence, journey is a good word for it. Journey is definitely a good word for it. I've learned how to wear it. It was not always there. It was not always strong. It was non-existent at a point in my life. And I think the more I identified who I was and what I was good at and started to find my thing, the confidence came with it. You know what I'm saying? So it grew over time. And there are still days, even today, where my confidence is like, just looking at me. I'm like,
That's real.
can you come on? And then my confidence be in the corner like, nope. Right. Like some days it's a challenge. You know, we are in our own heads. Insecurity has been a thorn in my flesh for years and years and years and years because I always wanted to fit in. I always wanted to be liked. And so when those things didn't happen, of course, your confidence takes a hit. So I definitely had to grow into my confidence for sure. Yeah.
That is so true. And I like how you illustrated. You're so animated, which I love. But then if you can put it in a picture, like, okay, so today I'm looking for my confidence, but it's looking at me like, yeah, no, not today. Like how you described it is exactly how it is for me. So like, how do you get, or how have you gotten past those hard times where your confidence is just like,
Well, so on the surface, when you look good, you feel good, right? So if nothing else, I will put on an eyebrow and some lip gloss, okay? Because that at least for me, when I see myself, at least with that much, it's like, okay, you're here. You
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? You can do this because you're here. If you wasn't here, it wouldn't get done. So I started there. And of course, faith plays a major role in it. I always, try to think about, okay, if this wasn't meant to be, God wouldn't have allowed me to be here to do it or to show up for it, right? So I always go to my faith next after I like put the lip gloss and eyebrows on. Then I come to Jesus like, okay, Lord, I need you to help me pull this off today. Another thing that I learned later in life is to be nice to myself. Like to give myself permission to not have a 100% day because nobody has 100% days all the days of the week. And if I show up and I'm at a 50%, I'm going to give the best 50% I have, and that's going to be good enough. So I think to answer the question, that self-talk has gotten me through. Like I really have to rationalize, like, okay, you can't do the eyebrow, you can't do the lip gloss, but you can put on a clean shirt. All right, we're gonna go with the clean shirt. Clean shirt it is. So really giving myself permission to be regular. With the hats that I wear, being in the limelight a lot, you wear those things. You wear people always looking for you to be on. You wear mommy, mommy, mommy all the time. You wear, oh man, Wallace is coming home. I need to make some dinner. You wear all the stuff that you have to do. And so some days it's like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But you literally talk yourself through it minute by minute, step by step. Some days it's harder than others. There are days when I can't talk myself through it. And that's why it's important to make sure you're surrounded with people that can speak into your life and can, encourage you and at least tell you, girl, go put some eyebrows on, right? Like you have to have people around you. So when you can't, talk yourself up, you have people around you that can talk you up as well. So I start here and then I'll branch out when I need to really find some confidence and some strength. Yeah.
I like that. I love that because it's so important and so key to one, have positive self talk, and then have people around you who can like reinforce what it is that you said before in the past or what it is that you hear in that moment.
Absolutely.
So I'm just glad that I have that. You're one of my hats. Because we need each other. Like, listen here. We can talk about confidence all day. But to be real honest, right now, I'm not feeling confident at all. My computer, Wi-Fi is not connecting. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, girl, your light don't seem right. It's no shadow on your face. But I have to tell myself, like, like, this is what you do. So you just got to roll with it.
Right. And you're here. You showed up.
I'm here.
You showed up. And the thing,
because I could have been like, I'm not.
No, I tell people all the time, like half the battle is showing up. There are people who are trash, who are like, don't have content. They don't have the look. They don't have the Holy Ghost. They don't have nothing. And they show up every day and they have millions of followers because they show up every day. Meanwhile, we're over here. We have some Holy Ghost. We got a half an eyebrow, and we over here talking about I can't go lie because like just show up because 9 times out of 10, the people that are watching feel like you're here. You know what I'm saying? They already see you as up here because you're the one going live. So it's like, listen, y'all gonna get what you get, and that's it.
Wait, wait, put your arm up again. Let me see that blazer.
Oh, you see these buttons?
Oh, that's cute. Look at the button.
Girl, I ain't got K&G had a sale. Come on,
Wait,
please.
everybody.
It was the last day. It was late. It was. Ain't nobody gonna get here to make it in time. It's fine. And actually, Taylor got this blazer first, and I actually went and bought one myself because I wanted it. So we have the same blazer now. I'm that sister, but okay.
Well, you look good in it, and you're definitely wearing your confidence.
Thank you.
So let's get a little juicy here. So, like, you're married, and you're white. For almost, you said, almost 5 years now?
5 years.
That's right. We're all the ring. So how is it that you're making moves as a wife versus making moves as a single? Like, what has been like the hardest thing that you're allowed to do?
So let's just gave a like, so that means he's watching. So I'm gonna tell the truth just in case he try to pop on or come upstairs and say, hold up. But it has definitely been a learning and growing experience. When you are single, it's like it's all me all the time, what I want, when I want it. If you're not with it, oh well, because I'm gonna do my thing. It's all about me. There ain't no me in marriage, man. Like in real life, there is no me in marriage. So everything that I'm doing, it's him too. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing Brittnee N Smith, Brittney Smith Creative Company too. He's doing Brittnee N Smith too. He's doing Elder Brittany too. Like, well, he, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but everything that I'm doing, and he's involved. And so now when I make major decisions for my business, for anything, I'm talking to him about it. I'm talking, what do you think about this? I'm thinking about flying here. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about releasing this. What? I'm like, what do you think? Because everything that I do, one, is for my family. So if I'm making a decision that's going to impact my family, I need to make sure I consult with my husband because he is the head anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm grateful that we have the type of partnership where he can promote me, he can push me, he can support me. And he's not that kind of husband that's like, you going live again? You taking a client again? You got a call again? He's not like that. He's like, yep, you got a car. You up there with Sharice? That's fine. I got the baby. Like he's mad supportive. But if I'm honest, it wasn't easy in the beginning. It wasn't an easy transition because if you remember, we got married in 2015, and I was doing Girl on the Right around that time. And so I was doing my thing. Like I was posting and writing books and doing all these things. And then I got married and it was like, okay, but what about your husband? And I'm like, chill. I got to do this book real quick. And then I got pregnant really fast. And it was like, oh, snap. So it's funny because I was real bold. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just have this baby and I'm going to just push the baby out and keep on rolling. I was being, I don't know. And no, like the old lady sat in the corner like, okay, go ahead. I was arrogant with it. Like my singleness came with arrogance. And I had to unlearn that arrogance. I had to unlearn that selfishness. And I had to put on a new approach to what I'm doing. If I can't do it with Wallace in my life or in my corner, I can't do it. If he's not for it, I can't do it because it ain't going to fly if it ain't right at home. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that kind of life or that kind of business where I'm killing it on stage, but my marriage is in shambles because I've neglected it. Or Sophia don't know who I am because I've neglected her. So my priorities definitely had to do one of these. And there are moments, if I'm 1,000% honest, where I still struggle sometimes. But at the end of the day, I try to make the best decision for my family. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, I'll structure my work day so that by 4 o'clock, to the best of my ability, I'm done with all my work stuff. so that I can transition into family time, mom time, wife time, dinner time, all of that. But it's hard. It's a hard switch, especially when you're like driven. Like if you don't have nothing going on as a single and you just working and that's it, it's fine. But when you writing books and you've got organizations that you building and popping in ministry and all of this stuff, and then you get a spouse who's supposed to be first over all of that. Ooh, because I was single longer than I've been married, so I know that better than being married. But
You speaking the whole truth.
but marriage is good if you work it right. If you work it right, and that's why. And I'll leave that question here. But that's why it matters who you marry, man. Because like, if you want to do all of this, and your spouse is like this, you're not going to be able to do what you've been called to do. And God is going to honor your marriage before He honors your vision. If you out of order, daughter, He will set you down and set you straight until y'all get on the same page. So I'm grateful for my God. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful. Even Sophia's walking the house she's like, I'm Brittnee N. Smith.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. So I like what you said. I thank you so much for being honest and being transparent. Because what I'm hearing is that you can still make moves as a married woman. You just have to prioritize them. It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not impossible. And then on top of that, you're a mom. So it's like, tell us your tiers. How do your tiers go as far as because God, Jesus.
So it's God, Wallace, Sophia, church, like everything else after that, like church, my business. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my family is definitely first, and after God in that order. And so being a mom has definitely changed me and how I view life. I remember being terrified later, like as I got closer to giving birth, because I was having a daughter. And it was like, dang, I know all the stuff that I went through as a girl. Like, how am I going to help her through that crap? That's
what it
is. Life
throws
our way as girls, like, man. And then, like I said earlier, I struggled with insecurity, and I still do sometimes. Confidence is a major issue sometimes. So it's like, I want to be a good mom. I don't feel like I can be a good mom. Like, what does that even look like? So I went through all of that. And there are some days where I'm very aware that she watches everything I do. Like, everything. Good, bad, indifferent. She's watching me.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like sometimes God puts kids in our life in that way, and He makes that dynamic that way to keep you straight, keep you in check. Like she'll make comments like, all right, mommy, well, can you come play with me? You can bring your laptop. And it's like, all right, laptop done, But so she keeps me in check. Like, hello, you supposed to be playing with me right now, So, your kids are definitely a way of God reminding you and keeping you straight on what's important. Yeah, she's a special one. But she is. I love she's her. Awesome. You just learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. There are still days when I look at her and I'm like, yo, I have a whole kid. Like
that's your mini your life.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you had some struggles with, am I going to be a good mom? I know what I went through. How do you instill confidence in her, even now, at the age of 3?
So I definitely recognize our similarities in terms of our energy, our creativity, and our imagination. And I feel like maybe to an extent in my life, that stuff wasn't always encouraged. And so what I try to do for her is I play along. Like when she says, mommy, pretend I'm Rapunzel and you pretend you're evil stepmother. I get in the character and we go. we go for it. I want to encourage her personality, and encourage her imagination, encourage her creativity. And she's so funny. She has like this thing with fashion and style. So she always wants to like do my hair or do my makeup. And she's like, Mommy, look at me. How do I look? And I'm like, girl, you better work. And she's like, you know. So I make sure to like gas her up. Like whenever she does anything, I'm like, yo, you better go ahead. Like we have this little cheer that we do when she does something great, or like, maybe she like, I don't know, puts her shoes on the right feet. I'll go, ho, 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 and she'll start dancing, and we have like a little moment. I try to create that acceptance of who she is now, without saying, hey, don't be like that, or hey, don't say that, or hey, don't, trying not to censor her creativity at this age, is one of the things that I do to try to build her up so that she's confident in being herself, because she's crazy, but in a good way.
I love it, and that's so good. And I know you're doing a phenomenal job, because when I tell you that young lady, she's free, but when I hear her talk, especially like 13, I'm like, wait, what?
Bruh.
You want to take a nap now? She's like, oh no, you're gonna bring me a story. I'm like, a story.
Yeah.
But I love how you're taking that initiative and you're pouring into her, and just not just love but acceptance. That is so major, and she's going to appreciate it, because mentoring the young girls that I do now, they're just like, my mom doesn't really talk to me, and they look for acceptance outside of the home, and it can just be horrific, but I'm so glad that she has you as her mom, who is so amazing herself, and she just is a great role model, because ultimately confidence and all it has to start at home. It has to. And just you being who you are, as she's watching you, she will take on all of your greatness and then all of your insecurities if you're saying it out loud.
Right.
I remember one time I had a 7-year-old, and we were doing something like craft and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I'm sad. Where did you hear that from? Like, I hear my mom talking about it all the time. Okay. So it's so important. It's so key that our young girls have that foundation, some type of role model confidence at home.
Absolutely.
And it's that a lot of them don't.
Yeah, no, and I think you said something key, that she'll take on all of that and the insecurities, right? And so one of the things that I ask God to make me aware of, is when some of those dysfunctions that I picked up along the way, because of my nature, because of my skill set, because of my personality, and because of the environment that I was in, make me aware when those dysfunctions are starting to form or trying to form, so that I can speak to them and reverse them. And again, like I said before, extending grace to myself, because I don't always get it right. There are days when I'm a super amazing mom, and then there are other days when I'm the workaholic mom that's like, go sit on your tablet because I'm stressed out right now. So I don't get it right all the time, but my hope and prayer, and even so that's one of those things people say, okay, COVID, it's a terrible thing, but it created a great opportunity. I haven't spent this much time with Sophia, like, ever, because I was working like during the day. So she was always at daycare and stuff like that. So now I get to be home with her 2 to 3 days out of the week for full days during the weekdays. And so I'm getting to know the nooks and crannies of her and communicating with her. And even those like little moments where I feel like, so you talked about, where do you go when you need confidence? There are days when I'm in the corner on this corner and my confidence is over in that corner. And Sophia will walk in like, she'll go, you're my precious. I'm like, and so it's almost like, not almost, I know that she's discerning, And like she just, God uses her that way to like snuggle up or like say, "You're the best mommy ever." Like she says that often, and I'm just like, "But I don't feel like the best mommy ever." But she says, "You are," and I'm just like, "Okay," you know. So it's like this growing thing, um, and it really is a two-way street in relationship, even at three. But I hope to be even more in tune, in the coming days and months and weeks and stuff like that, because she's only going to get smarter. And so I need to make sure that she knows where I stand and she knows where she stands in my life and in my heart now. Because that's the one thing I don't ever want her to have to guess or question where she stands on my list of priorities. And I know it can easily come off that way because of all the things that I'm juggling, right? I might be setting her up with a play date because I have something to do. I don't want her to take that as mommy's too busy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I need to make sure I'm communicating you're important to me, like a lot, every single day, so that when those things do happen, she's understanding.
It's a balancing act, and one of the things that I've been talking with now Kira, there's still everyone's still trying to balance everything. So it's like some days, like Kira was saying, like some days like her shop would be a priority, and other days it would be equally a priority. It's like do you have a solution for this balance?
So this might be like a cheat answer or like a really general answer. But I think the key to balance is recognizing the season that you're in, because your balance, the scales change from season to season. And so if you can be in tune with yourself, then you will know how to measure and move things around so that that season flows comfortably and properly. Like you just said, Nakira said, sometimes the business is going to be hot and popping. Sometimes the business is going to be low and family life is going to be popping. Like when Sophia gets old enough to have dance classes, like that's gonna go up here, and then the business is going to go down there. So I think too, while you're maintaining or trying to identify balance, um, be putting things in place if you can that are consistent. So like I know I need to exercise. I ain't put it in place yet, but I know I need to exercise, right? And so I need to make myself a schedule so that when her ballet, tap, all of that gets popping, I'm still taking care of myself. I think another key to balance is identifying the non-negotiables. Like my business, no, the workload will change, but my non-negotiable is I have to do social media posts for it. Like I have to advertise. You know what I'm saying? So keys to balance, being able to identify and discern what seasons you're in so that you know where to place things, but also knowing what your non-negotiables are. So no matter what moves around, there are some things that remain the same always. I have to spend time with God every day. Now, in the seasons of life where Wallace is leaving at 4 in the morning to go to work and Sophia has daycare at such and such time, I know I have to get it in at this time. But when Wallace is on vacation or when Wallace steps into his full-time business and he's more flexible and Sophia's away with grandma, I can do Jesus at this time. But I know I have to have Jesus in my day. So I think those are probably two keys to balance, I would say. Knowing that it's going to change, but knowing what your consistent things are so that you are balanced on the inside. Because I think, too, there's internal balance, but then there's the balance of your schedule. The internal balance, I feel like you have more control over. And so I think if you tend to that first, the external balance is easier to, you're more able to go with the flow and move things around. But when you're out of balance internally and your schedule is crazy, child, I don't even know what to tell you. you know,
See Chanel.
yeah, see Chanel, exactly. Hashtag see Chanel. But yeah, you got to know yourself in the midst of all of that.
You have to know yourself. Like that's the first thing I tell my girls, or the young people that I talk to. You have to know who you are first of all. First and foremost, you have to know who you are. You can't have non-negotiables if you don't know who you are and what it is that you stand for.
Right.
Like you just setting yourself up for failure
And
right off.
and I think because sometimes when you tell people you have to know who you are, it feels like a very mystical, like blurry answer. When I say know who you are, I'm talking, are you a morning person or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you like to take your showers in the morning or in the nighttime? Because that will change your whole day. Like, if you're not a morning person and you're trying to force yourself to be up and get stuff done in the morning, you're gonna feel out of whack. But if you know that your prime time for work is 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., then baby, situation day so that you can get the best out of yourself in this season of your life. And again, that might change. But I know I've recently, in the last couple of weeks, I've been getting up at like 5 in the morning. I'll write and then go back to sleep. But I'm getting the writing done because for some reason that 5 a.m. to like 6:30 hour is quiet. I feel creative because it's quiet. you know so I even mean not even on the deep side, but knowing yourself in terms of how you operate. If you're watching this right now, you're either a millennial, or your boss, or your mom, or your wife, or you're a spouse of one.
And you sign up for my get
Yeah,
started with where you found
yeah. So if you're watching this, you're one of those things. And so you have to know, do I work better in the morning time or at night? Should I, does prepping dinner early in the day work better for me? Or do I need to take it out the night before because I'm just going to run and, like, you need to know those things about yourself. So as you're trying to balance, you're not killing yourself in the process. Sophia? I heard beads. Yeah.
Exactly. And I love that you said that. Just knowing like the little things. A lot of times when I ask people that, they get so thrown and caught off guard. They're like,
I'm a scientist. Like, no, that's not what I meant.
No. I don't care about your title. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
What's your personality like? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so that's so. I'm glad that you wrote that down for the people. I'm so excited that we got to do this, that we got to tune into our conversation.
Yeah.
But as we get ready to leave, is there any piece of advice? Like, is there a key thing that you would like to leave with viewers in regards to business, family, confidence? What's your little thing that you would like to leave with people?
So I think because the theme of balance and trying to do it all is a thing. Just to encourage you all that you can do it all, but there is a way to do it all. And remember, the only way that you won't be able to do it all is if you dead. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. If you are going to wear multiple hats for an extended period of time, you have to make room and space for the person under the hat, because none of it matters if you don't exist. And I literally, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Like, and I don't know if Pastor Joy's still watching, but like, she'll give me the over the glasses look. When I get to a certain point in that cycle, either I get caught up in work or I get caught up in whatever, and I start to run out of juice. I likened it to, because I'm an analogy person, so I liken it to a cell phone being plugged in to the wall, to the charger, and the charger has a certain amount of cord to it. As long as I'm plugged into the cord, I can do whatever I need to do. I can have all my apps open. I can have many things running at one time. I can be doing a video and playing YouTube in the background. Like, I can do whatever I want as long as I'm connected to the cord. But when I start to do too many things, I start to move further away from the socket. And at some point, the cord disconnects. And for a minute, I might be disconnected, but I'm going to operate for a minute because I have a full battery. So I don't even realize I'm disconnected because I'm still able to do all the stuff until my battery starts to die and get lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And then I go into, low battery mode, where the battery turns yellow. And then, so you turn into the low battery mode, and now your apps start running differently. to try to conserve battery. So that those apps are the different areas of your life, the different hats that you wear. Your wifehood starts to suffer when you're running on low battery mode. Your mothering starts to suffer. Your business starts to suffer. You start cussing people out in ministry because you're on low battery.
Oh no, don't cuss out the people.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
No.
when you're on low battery mode, everything starts to suffer, but you're still trying to operate at full force because you're running on your own juice. And so that would be my encouragement, is to stay plugged in so that you don't run on your own juice and die. Because you can't serve nobody if you dead.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You said it so much. Stay plugged in. What's your source? What's your source? What are you plugged into? For us, we got to stay plugged into Jesus.
Amen.
Because I can turn into someone that's not nice and not confident.
Oh, yes. That's right, Miss Woman. No cussing. I can't. Sometimes, though, I'll be this close. In my head. I wouldn't say it out loud, but sometimes in my head. Yeah.
Like that. But I really love what you can wear the many hats, but you have to take care of the person under the hat. Take care of the person under the hat. And then you can be a boss, and you can be a person, an entrepreneur, a wife, millennial, non-millennial, and make those moves.
Can I just say one more thing? When you're talking about wearing the hats, make sure that you're putting on the right hats for the right reasons. Because, I got the makeup on, I got the light and everything. It looks good. It looks good.
Look
And
great,
light is good. But it's hard. It's hard, y'all. It's hard. And it's even harder when you're wearing hats that don't belong to you. When you're doing it just to look a certain way, or you're doing it just to get into a certain circle, or you're doing it because other people around you are doing it. I'm learning that when you obtain certain levels of success, that it's not always what you thought it would feel like. And that's good, bad, and indifferent. It doesn't mean like, oh, I got here and I'm like, oh, this is it. But it just never feels like what you think is going to feel like when you've arrived. And so you've got to have something else like, okay, yes, I secured the $2,000 client for the website. Woohoo! But now I got to do the work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, I got the money in the bank, but I got to do the work. Like, I have to now do the work that is worth $2,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not only do you have to work to get there, you have to work to stay there. So make sure if you're going to work to be there, that there is the right there you're supposed to be at. Okay, I'm done. I'm done for this time.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Because if you're there for the wrong reason, you won't be there for very long.
Yeah.
You'll hate it, or
It'll hate you.
you'll burn out. Basically, it's gone. God forbid you're dead, and you'll be doing anything. But yeah. Seriously. But I just want to thank you so much. You dropped so many nuggets. Like, I don't know who's watching right now because I can't see not a daggone thing. But I hope that you were catching what she was saying, because it was not it was knowledge. And I promise you, go back to the beginning, watch it over, you'll get something. It'll bless your life.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, thank you. We have to do this again. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone for watching. If you don't, I have a challenge coming up on Saturday. Saturday is the 1st of August. And so let's finish this summer. Let's finish it on the line with more confidence, more self-esteem. Let's be bolder. Let's take control of our lives and not allow this world to dictate and us what it is that we need to do. And so I have what's called the THEE Brittnee Confidence Challenge. It's for 5 days. I'm taking women. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you have a child or not. I just want to help you take the confidence out of it. Because the woman that you are seeing here today, she was not always like this. Okay? So it's going to be a private group. know
Yeah.
it's not who we always were.
Oh no.
Okay?
I'm
Come to the group. Say little stories. I know that.
all the tea, unsweetened.
Yeah. But then the Lord came.
He made it sweet. Sweeter than the
But
okay.
give you the sugars. But I would like for all of you who are watching, if you are a woman, please join it. I guarantee you that it's going to change your life. I will put the link on how to sign up at the bottom. You can also go to my website, warriorconference.com, sign up there. Brittany, really quickly, you can tell the people how they can get in contact with you. I believe the email is on, so to continue with the challenge, the website, warriorconference.com there. Brittany's information, right, and she's going to be able to say it out.
Thank you. So I have 2 pages on Facebook, Brittnee N. Smith, as well as Brittany Smith Creative Company. And again, one is my personal brand and one is the company for like graphic services. So what I want y'all to do is I want you to follow me on the Brittnee N. Smith page and make sure you join me live on Monday through Friday at 8:15 on the Daily Flight with Brittnee N. Smith, where we have motivation and inspiration for everyday life. We've been having so much fun on those videos. And actually, I think those are live from my personal page right now. So if you're not my friend on Facebook, then friend me, Brittany Mrs. AWOL Smith, so you can catch those videos live every day. So yeah, Brittnee N. Smith on Facebook, Brittany Smith Creative on Facebook, BrittanySmith.com or BrittanySmithCreative.com if you want to check out the actual websites. But yeah, connect with me if you are a business owner or a CEO and you need graphic design, you need to get your brand together, you need to get your content together, and you have money to spend. Come on over to Brittany Smith Creative Company and I can hook you up.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much again, Brittany. You're the best. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it so much. And next week will be in for a treat. Yeah, you'll be in for a treat. No matter what. Just make sure you stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's going to be great. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget your confidence.
Don't forget it.
See you next time.
Bye.